What up gamers, Mace from Teamheadkick, and today I'm going to be fixing another Xbox Red Ring of Death. This one was given to me by my little brother, so I'm going to link the video that I already did a whole explanation for like 15 minutes how to fix this. This is just going to be a really fast one. As you can see down here, my Xbox is in pieces. It's all torn apart, it's already open. I've already taken the heat sinks off and the fans and all that jazz. So now we're to the motherboard, which is right here. And as you can see, the GPU and the CPU are really dirty, so I'm going to use some basic just rubbing alcohol. I got this at the 99-cent store. Just going to use that to clean it up a bit, and we're going to apply some new thermal paste, put this whole thing together, overheat it on purpose. That should meld it together and it should work. We'll see if it does. 99% of the time, it does work. This is the tool you're going to need. It's a Torx wrench. I don't know if you can see this, so I'll show it to you in front of my dog. Yeah. Anyway, this little Torx wrench will open all the little screws that you need to take your Xbox apart. If your Xbox is under warranty, you have a Slim, an Elite, any of that, make sure you send it to Microsoft. Only do this fix if you do not have warranty. That's that. So, I'll catch up to you guys in a bit. Something that's kind of helpful too, and you guys can keep this in mind, WD-40 is absolutely awesome for oiling up your parts or for cleaning shit off as well. So I use the alcohol first, then I use a little squirt of WD-40 on there. Cleans it right up. Check it out. Looking sexy. I still gotta do that one. But so you see what that looks like before the WD-40? Let me do some WD-40 on it. Alright, now after a quick spray of WD-40, see if you can see this. That is what it looks like. See how much cleaner that is? It's awesome. That's what you want. So you want the WD-40 to dry really well before you apply the new thermal paste. Then we're going to apply new thermal paste. Bam! Alright, once you've cleaned off both of your heat sinks, what we are going to do now, and you'll see they're both clean. Those are both clean. My heat sinks are both clean. We're good to go. We're going to apply more thermal paste. Now, a lot of people argue that you need really good thermal paste. Don't get the cheapest of the cheap, but look, this is just silver thermal paste. It's Formula 5. It was about $3 at Fry's. So that's what it looks like. And I strongly suggest this stuff. It's worked for me tons of times. So I'll probably have to open this box back up in about 6 months to a year, unless I do it right the first time. We'll see. All right, we'll be back. We're going to apply this. Thermal paste is going to go right here on top of there and right there. In fact, let me do this in front of you real quick. Alrighty, time to apply the thermal paste to the GPU and the CPU. So, I'm going to go right here. You want to make a liberal little dollop right on there. Let's get a nice little chunk. And then we're going to do the same thing over here on both of these. I'm going to put a nice little dot right there. Nice little dot right there. And then you're going to spread this around. Now, you can use a credit card if you want. I just use my finger. It doesn't really matter, but you need to make sure that it's evenly coated all the way across the GPU and the CPU. So I'm going to show you using my finger how I do it. Just kind of dab it on there and make sure you're covering every square inch with the new thermal paste. See that? Like that. So there's no silver shining, and so it's a nice thick layer. Now you actually want this kind of thick, so don't make it too thin. Don't make it too thick though. You want to press it down a little bit, but a couple of lumps, that's fine. Because what's going to happen when it overheats, they're going to overheat and they're going to melt together, the heat sinks and the motherboard. So you want to have enough thermal compound in there to deal with the heat. Alright, so you just saw me put that on there. It's new thermal paste. All I did was clean off the GPU and the CPU, took apart my Xbox, took out the fans, all that jazz, and I cleaned off my heat sinks, applied new thermal paste. Now I'm going to put it all back together and we're going to overheat it on purpose. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I've cleaned the GPU and the CPU, I've applied new thermal paste, and I've reattached now my heat sinks. Make sure you put them on the way that they were. And as you can see, I took off the X clamps. A lot of the Xboxes have the X clamps. You can just pop them off with a screwdriver. And I just use screws to put it back in. That way I can play with it whenever I want. So anyway, we're gonna go plug this thing in now, and we're gonna overheat it on purpose till we get 2 red rings of death. So that means I'm not gonna plug in the fans. I'm gonna plug it all back in without the fans, let it cook. All right, I'll be back. Okay, we've plugged it in, and as you can see, still got the 3 red rings of death. This is just the skeletal now. You can see there's no fans hooked up, none of that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it cook. It usually takes about 10-15 minutes to get hot enough to go down to 2 red rings. At 2 red rings, that means it's gonna shut itself off. So you're gonna go ahead and click the power off, let it sit and cool down for about 5 minutes, and then we'll see what happens after that next time we try to cut the power on. Cool. All right, time to check in. Now that we've overheated our Xbox, let's see how my dogs are doing. How you doing, bro? You good? Was a good walk? How you doing, dude? Oh, you're out, huh? They're tired of all this shenanigans too. All right, so what you're looking at is the Xbox has now gone to 2 red rings of death. That means it is overheated. Now it's time to cut the power off. Whoop. Okay, clearly I cannot cut the power off because it's not letting me. Hold on, let me try that again. Okay, let's say you run into a situation where you can't cut the power off. You can always unplug it, so that's what we're gonna do. So, that's still going. Clearly I'm pressing the button and it's not working, so we're gonna go back to the back of the Xbox right here. Oh yeah, plug that fire. Alright, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it sit about 10 minutes, cool off, so it's not hot anymore, and then when we turn it back on, it should work. So I'm gonna plug in all the fans and all that, and we'll see. See you in a few. Okay, I did a rough put together of it back. I put the fans back in there, plugged them in. I put the CD-ROM back in there, plugged that in. That right there is what it looks like. Now I'm not gonna connect the rest of the casing until I make sure it works, so let's go ahead and test it out. We're gonna go down to the power button. Boop. Oh, snap, son. So that's it, guys. Once you are finished with overheating it, letting the power cut off for about 10 minutes, putting the fans back in, making sure everything is working, go ahead and click the power back on, and that's what you should see, which is green, good to go. I can put this box back together now. And yeah, as you can see, it is working. So if you'd like a more in-depth tutorial, please check out my other video. The link will be in the description to this video, and I hope this helps you guys out. Nothing sucks worse than a red ring of death. So maybe the friggin' Nazis. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.